like that at all, really. I was quite surprised. And she was off a bit before I was ready, but anyway, gear up, climbing away.
G'day, I'm Phil from Philtech, and today we're going to introduce you to the Flexi-Chuck. This is a product manufactured by Philtech and a collaboration between Philtech and Eccentric Engineering. It's a bit like a collet system. The aluminium part can expand or contract. Difference is you can machine the aluminium part to suit the application. It can be fitted to a lathe or a milling machine or a cylindrical grinder. I often use them when manufacturing parts for my model V12 engine. The aluminium adapter is the consumable part of the chuck. It can be removed by unscrewing it. It comes in 3 different sizes, so 50mm, 75mm and 100mm. You can use it to grab hold of something internally, like hang on to the bore of this model engine component by machining a spigot on the end and doing it that way, or you can use it to grab something externally, like this cylinder liner, where I've bought out the adapter and that goes in there, and we use this on a cylindrical grinder to internally grind the bore of the liner. Another thing to note is that on the adapter there's a little line marked, a little groove there, and that means this can be used umpteen times for different projects, but that's as far back as it can be machined. To explain how the Flexi-Chuck works, the best way is I'll just draw a line on the tapered pin and insert the hex key, and as I turn the hex key you can see the tapered pin rising, and if we put it the other way it goes back down again. So that's that side of things. Inside the aluminium adapter we have the opposite shape of the tapered pin. So when we screw that on like so and turn the handle clockwise, it'll expand to a maximum of 0.5mm, and anti-clockwise return to its normal state. Now let's talk about the locking ring. Firstly, how does it work? It's got a slot that goes right through it at this point, and an Allen key in there that can contract the whole ring. Now it fits to the base of the aluminium adapter, and so when you screw it onto your, like so, screw it onto your body, you can lock it up, and now it is locked to the body. So if you're milling or turning in reverse, the adapter's not going to unscrew itself. So you're going to need to mount your Flexi-Chuck to your lathe or your milling machine or your cylindrical grinder. How do we go about that? Let's have a look at the accessories we've got. Well, a lot of hobbyists use a Myford lathe. Well, we've got a back plate that'll screw straight onto your Myford lathe and can attach like that with some screws onto your body of your Flexi-Chuck. That's nice and easy. Maybe you've got a 3-Morse taper, so that's another very good way of doing it, nice and concentric. Or perhaps a 4-Morse taper. Often on CNC lathes you have a collating system, so we've got a 25mm parallel arbor version, so that's a very good way too. We also make a adapter plate that will fit onto your conventional back plate you get with your lathe, and do that the normal way and screw that on the front. That also comes in 100mm diameter as well. Now for your milling machine, we make a adapter that screws onto that, and you hold it down with a couple of finger clamps, but we also include a spigot that you can screw on the back if you choose to, and machine it to the width of your T-slot, so you can rotate it, so you can get your chuck key lined up to the front of your bear. Here we have an example of using the Flexi-Chuck on a manual lathe. This is a component that we wish to machine in the Flexi-Chuck. It's got your typical burr that's created when we've parted it off in the lathe. This would be rather an awkward part to grab any other way because it's aluminium, easy to damage of course, and it's very thin, and it's got an O-ring groove in the middle, so there's not much meat there in the material to really grab hold of, so it's ideal for a Flexi-Chuck. We've previously bored out the adapter of the Flexi-Chuck to suit the component, so the first thing we need to do is to expand the Flexi-Chuck. So we turn the handle and we insert the part, then we just rotate the handle the other way and it contracts and grabs hold of the component. We now machine off the burr. We remove the part by expanding the chuck again, and we can see a lovely machine chamfer. So here we have an example of the Flexi-Chuck mounted on a machining centre. We're going to use a 100mm adapter with a locking ring. First thing we need to do is screw it on. Then we need to tighten it up with the Tommy bar. Now we need to tighten up the locking ring. We're going to machine the aluminium adapter to suit the internal shape of this component that we need to grab hold of. So we've now got the aluminium adapter of the Flexi-Chuck machined to a profile that will grab hold of the internal of this component blank, and so that can fit neatly over there. We can expand the Flexi-Chuck and grip it ready for machining. Let's now start machining the part. Let's have a look at the finished part. it has a wall thickness of as thin as 1 mil. It would have been quite a difficult component to hold by other ways. Well, that concludes this video on the Flexi-Chuck. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments page. And remember, if you enjoyed these videos, please subscribe and like. Otherwise, till next time, see you around.